excellent shot. That was a rollout. The most beautiful shot in a racquetball player's repertoire. It's difficult to perform, but extremely effective, because it can't be returned by your opponent wherever he happens to be. In this program, we'll be showing the basic racquetball shots, demonstrating when to use them. But first of all, remember this old adage: always hit the ball to the part of the court where your opponent isn't. That way, he'll have to work harder to make a good return. And even if you don't score on that one, the extra energy he uses could wear him down sooner. So look at it this way. If your opponent's in the back court, try to score with a pinch or a kill shot. And if he's in the front court, you might want to try a pass shot. So in this program, we'll concentrate on these possibilities. Okay, now we're getting into a little more advanced racquetball where you'll be hitting ceiling shots a little more frequently. Let's talk a little bit about the forehand. When you're receiving a serve or any kind of a shot, the time to hit a ceiling ball is when you're in the deep court area. Now when you hit a forehand, the only difference between a regular forehand shot, which is contacting the ball at this height, and a ceiling ball is that you'll be contacting the ball up here or up here, anywhere from your waist high or higher. Now the stance is simply facing the side wall or a slight turn towards the front wall. You don't want to hit like a tennis serve. You want to face the slight angle and hit here. Okay, contacting the ball here. Now for the backhand, it's just a reverse. Same backhand grip, everything's the same. You're facing the left side wall now. Take that step, contacting the ball, the same area, out in front, right here. The same follow through. Okay, now when you want to hit the ceiling shot, doesn't really matter where you hit it on the court as long as the ball comes as deep as you can get it without coming off the back wall. Ideally, you want to hit it down the left wall, because that's usually to the backhand side of your opponent, and that's his weakest stroke. Now you don't want to hit it, like I said, too hard to where it comes off, and you don't want to hit it too soft, where it's going to hit maybe the side wall or stop somewhere in this area, ready for a setup, and your opponent can put it away. Now there's also one more thing that's called a wallpaper shot, and what this does is it hits and just skims the side wall here, and it just dies. That's one of the most difficult ceiling shots that you can hit. That's a perfect ceiling ball. When you contact it, the ball should hit the ceiling first, somewhere near the crack or about 2 to 3 feet out on the ceiling, then the front wall first, then it should bounce somewhere in this area and then up real high, usually above your head, so that your opponent has to return it from up here. Okay, let me show you a few of those. Hitting the ceiling ball with my forehand, here's a few drills that you might want to practice. It's simply hitting ceiling balls to yourself maybe 4 or 5 times.
I've already discussed how effective the Z-ball is on the serve. Now what about the Z-ball during the rally? First of all, the main difference between this and the serve is that the Z-ball strikes higher on the front wall, up around 10 or 12 feet, and sometimes even higher, hits the side wall, carries all the way to deep court, hits the opposite side wall on the fly. In the Z-serve, the ball must hit the floor first and then the side wall, but on the Z-ball during a rally, it hits the side wall and fly. When I hit this shot, you'll see that the ball tends to come straight out, almost at a 90-degree angle or parallel to the back wall, instead of going into the back wall on the fly. Let me just show you that shot real quick. It hits front wall, then it hits side wall, then it hits the opposite side wall and comes almost parallel to the back wall. Now when do you use this shot? Well, the deeper you get on the Z shot, if I had to hit it from back here, it's extremely difficult. The closer I get to the front wall, the more easy it becomes. The time to hit this shot is, say I have sort of a setup, but I can't really get into the proper position to hit a strong offensive shot. I just reach for it, snap it, and pop it around into the front wall. What this does is it forces my opponent, who is probably in front court, to go back to deep court. Now sometimes you'll score an automatic point if you hit a really good Z-ball and it hits close to the back wall here and then comes very close to the back wall. He's going to have a very difficult time returning that shot. Okay, once again, when I'm in this area here and I really can't get a full swing and take a full offensive shot, what I'll do is reach for the ball, pop it around and above my opponent. Now, just to show you how it gets more difficult as you get deeper in the court, I'll hit a few in different areas. Right there, that shows you how difficult it is from here. And the deeper you get, it even becomes more difficult. That wasn't bad, but as far as consistency goes, I wouldn't be able to hit that shot like that every time. Also, if you're on this side of the court, say, it's the same thing on the backhand. If I can't really get into a good offensive position here and I'm just reaching for the ball, all I do is pop the ball up and around behind my opponent.
Okay, now as you can see, a down-the-line pass is one of the most effective offensive shots in racquetball. Now you want to use both sides of the court when shooting this shot, the backhand side and the forehand. Now the backhand, for instance, when shooting this is exactly the same stroke as the backhand, hitting it about knee height, contacting the front wall 2 feet high. Now ideally you want the ball to skim this side wall without hitting it. Okay, and it should die in the back court, making sure also that the ball doesn't come off the back wall for a setup. If it comes off the side or the back, both shots are a setup for your opponent. So skimming the side wall, dying in the back court. Now for the forehand, it's just a reverse, the forehand stroke, contacting the ball, knee height, hitting 2 feet up on the front wall. Ball skims the side wall here without hitting it, goes into the back court and dies without coming off the back wall for the setup. Now there's 2 speeds you want to put on this shot, depending upon where the server is at the time. For instance, if I'm hitting a backhand shot, he's served to my backhand, and he's out of position to the side. I don't need to put quite as much speed on the ball, but I want to make sure that it's as accurate as I can get it, still dying in the back court. Okay, that was hitting it fairly soft. Putting a little more speed on the ball, you'll see how hard it is for him to get over. Out of position. Okay.
Nice shot.
The ball's already passed, and the same thing on the forehand. He's out of position. Okay, half speed. Harder. Okay, there's no way he could have gotten to either one of those shots. Now, if the server, or you're in a rally, and he's to the side of you, say he's behind you, that's the time to go down the line also. You don't need to hit quite as hard, but still if he's a quick player, he's fast, you still want to put pretty much speed on the ball. For instance, if he's behind me, still out of position. Okay, same on the forehand. He's behind me. Okay, now mine were a little short. Ideally, like I said before, it should come back and end up in the back court. Mine hit the sidewall too early and came out. Okay, why don't we...
I'm going to go through a few.
Yeah, let's demonstrate a few shots. You serve them up. Start with the backhand. Oops. Too far in the front court. It should be close to the side wall. Okay.
Forehand?
Forehand. Okay, let's try one more time.
Okay.
Okay, now the lower that you get your shot, again, the harder it is for him to return. That was almost a kill shot, not quite. There was no way he could have returned that.
One more.
Same thing. Let's try one more to my backhand side.
It's right area.
Okay, if you notice, again, not too accurate today. But with my backhand, the shot hit the sidewall first and came out. That's why you've got to be so accurate on this shot so that it's not going to come back out and set your opponent up. He very easily could have put that away.
Karin, what about when don't you want to hit this shot? If I'm back here, say, you wouldn't want to hit it down the line then because I'd be able to get it easily, right?
Right. You never want to hit the shot also if your opponent's behind you, because the shot is going to die in the backcourt, and if he's already there, it's going to be too easy for him to return it. So if he's up front, usually is the best time, off to the side.
So say if you were up here getting ready to hit a shot and I were right behind you, then you would still select maybe the down the line pass?
Depending where you were. If your opponent's too close, if you were right behind me.
Right here?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough. I'm going to have to be, okay, say I'm in the deep court and you're up front. I'm going to have to, it's a pretty low percentage shot because he's already up front and he's pretty close to that side wall. I'm either going to have to roll it out or select another shot, maybe a pass in front of him. Like I said again, if he's off to the side, that's when I'll shoot the shot.
That shot I just hit is called the around the wall ball. As its name implies, the ball hits the side wall between 12 and 15 feet high, travels into the front wall, travels around into the other side wall, bounces on the floor, and hopefully it should die before it gets to the back wall. There are two times you want to hit the around the wall ball. One is as an alternative to the ceiling ball, simply to throw your opponent off slightly. If I were in a long ceiling ball rally, say 7 or 8 ceiling balls, and I wanted to move my opponent into a different area, but I didn't have a good offensive opportunity, I would hit an around the wall ball. It accomplishes the same thing as a ceiling ball. It moves your opponent from center court into the deep court area. The other time you want to hit an around the wall ball is simply when there's nothing else you can do. If my opponent hits a good shot and I'm reaching for it and I can't really get a good offensive hit on the ball and I can't go to the ceiling, all I do is pop it into the side wall. Let me show you that latter one first. My opponent hits a shot here. I can't do anything, so I hit it around the wall. My opponent isn't going to be able to do much with that shot. The other time is when I'm in a ceiling ball rally. Ceiling, ceiling, then just to mix it up, hit an around the wall ball. All right, how do you do these shots? Preferably on your forehand side, you want to meet the ball somewhere in this area up here, even in the overhead position. If you can take the ball down here, you should go for some offensive shot, either a kill or a pass. But if I'm in this area and I don't want to hit a ceiling ball, I hit an around the wall ball. The best way to practice it is to set it up like this and hit it into either side wall. From this position here, I can go opposite. And it's your normal forehand stroke, only from this area in here. On the backhand side, it's the same thing. Set up. Well, there's the Z ball. The ball hits high on the front wall, on the side wall, travels into the front wall, into the other side wall, and rebounds into deep court. Now, so far we've been talking about the shots to hit. What can you do in defense to the around the wall ball? The one and probably the only way that you can do anything offensive off this shot is to step in and cut it off in the air. The ball is coming here. Let's try it again. Ball is coming here. Step in. You should actually try and hit it before it bounces into the floor. It's a little difficult to do and takes a lot of practice. There you go. That's the right idea anyway. So once again, when you're hitting the around the wall ball, catch the side wall high. Have it go into the front wall, into the other side wall, bounce and die going towards the back court. Another member of the pass shot family is the cross-court pass. If you're a beginning or intermediate player, you probably know this shot very well because you probably overuse it. But more of that later. Right now, let's just show you what a cross-court pass is. If I'm hitting a forehand shot from this side of the court, I hit the ball slightly out in front of me, the ball travels to the front wall, should hit somewhere left of center court, should travel directly back in a parallel line along the side wall and go straight into that corner. You don't want your cross-court pass, this particular one, to come off the side wall. This first cross-court pass is called the pure V pass because it travels in a direct V straight back to this corner. Let's just show you a few of those real quick. The ball is met here and it travels directly towards that corner. Ideally, you would like your ball to bounce 2 or 3 times before it comes off the back wall, but if it does come off the back wall, make sure that it doesn't hit the side wall, it hits the back wall first and then comes straight back. One more time. That's a little bit hard, but that's the proper angle that you want on the ball. Karin, why don't you hit a few backhands so we could demonstrate that side also. On your backhand side, you hit it slightly right of center court so that the ball travels back towards this corner. That's perfect, just like that. This shot, you want it to be hit slightly hard so that your opponent can't get a jump on it. You don't want to hit it soft, you want to really hit it firm. That's just about perfect. Okay, the second cross-court pass is a shot that we call the wide-angle V. What this shot does is instead of traveling directly forward and directly back in a V form, first it hits the front walls further left of center, comes out, hits the side wall somewhere in this area right here, travels behind your opponent and carries to deep court. Okay, let me show you a few of those. Okay, I missed. Son of a gun. Just like that. What this does is, as opposed to the pure V, is it makes your opponent first move here, and then he or she will realize that, geez, I'm too late, then they'll have to run way back here, and if it's a good V, it'll die before it gets to the back wall, and if not, they're going to really use a lot of energy to get to that court area in order to return the shot. Let's try a few more of those, just to get an idea of what it looks like. Just like that. That shot my opponent could have gotten, but first he would have went here, and then he said, can't get it, he would have had to go way back to here, and he would have just been able to hit a junky defensive return on that ball, which is what you wanted to do. Okay, Karin, why don't you hit a few backhands? Okay, that wasn't wide enough. It hit too close here. It's just going to pop out to center court and be a setup. Remember, you have to get that ball here to here so that it travels behind your opponent. I'm here, that ball has to go behind me. That's a good V. Try one more. Okay, that's not bad. A little bit wider. That's good. One thing that you can do, if you remember that service drill technique that we did, putting the spot on the wall, in order to practice this, just pick a spot on the front wall. Say I'm hitting a backhand and I want to hit the wide angle V. I hit it here, I hit the front wall in this area, and it comes out over here. You know that you didn't hit it far enough to the right of center court, so adjust and hit it further on the right side of the court. All right, like this. Okay, that's a good wide angle V. Same thing on the pure V. If I'm hitting a cross-court V to this corner here and I want it to go straight back into that corner and my ball's coming off the side wall, I know that I have to bring the ball closer to center court.